Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Court of Swords. I have no idea if this audio is actually good or not. I've been in
Is it
audio
working?
hell for the past like 5-6 hours and I haven't escaped yet. I haven't left.
People
I
are
don't think.
saying audio is here.
Yeah,
It's good. We
that's
on.
good. That's good. We
You did
also have
good.
you remember last week how we were like, man, it sucks you have to wait like 7. Now we have this like 1.4 second delay or something on the stream. So
Oh yeah. All right, so you're using low latency mode?
I am, yeah. Basically what it does is it fucks everyone with a bad connection. So I call it the
Yeah.
fuck your bad connection mode is what I call it. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
pretty
What
nice.
for the program?
No,
No,
Twitch.
for Twitch. For Twitch, yeah.
Oh.
The way it works is the latency is based on the user rather than Twitch. So if they have really
Okay.
poor internet, then they have like 30-second delay or some shit.
Jeez.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of cool, but it's also kind of
Huh.
like fuck you bad internet people. So I don't know. I'm kind of into
Just
it.
don't have bad internet.
Yeah, just have good internet, I guess.
Just have disposable income for your internet. What's the problem? I don't
I live in
understand.
a good place in the world, and yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how it goes.
So I spent this morning trying to get this wireless mixer up to snuff. No idea what I'm doing. Literally, it's the way that they have you set it up. You guys remember in remember in John Wick 2 where they call in to the people with the contracts and it's all the old ladies sitting there with the patch cables? It's a
Yeah.
patch cable
Yeah.
system, how you like link all this stuff together. So I'm sitting there just staring at a giant fucking matrix, completely confused as to what actually works and what doesn't and what's getting a signal. It's like, they're like, oh, it's so intuitive. The YouTube videos are like, it's so intuitive. Users can do it without ever having to read a book. And I'm just like, I'm
Well,
fucking clueless.
what you need to do is to hire one of those ladies that used to work in those patch rooms.
I know.
We're like, oh, this is easy.
I need to go find
I
a patch cabler, I guess.
I
is
always
what you would
thought
call
I
a
always
person.
thought those scenes in Mad Men, because there's the like the dispatch room in Mad Men, right? I always thought those scenes were funny because
Yeah.
they're those ladies and they're listening to everybody's conversations, and people are just like talking to their mistress and shit on the phone, and the ladies are just listening. And it was like the people that were having those conversations thought so little of those people. They were like, I don't care. I don't care if you hear me being a philandering dirtbag. You're nothing. You're less than nothing. What are you gonna do? Tell my wife? I don't care.
Yep.
Like it's
It's one of
so
my favorite
funny.
parts
They
of
were
Mad
just
Men is that those scenes. Yeah.
yeah.
Isn't that where
Yeah.
Peggy started?
Um.
No,
She was like a secretary.
She was secretary. Yeah.
There's that woman who in like the later seasons is like a switchboard
Yeah.
operator, and she like becomes kind of a minor character. Yeah,
Yeah. You all should go watch Mad Men. Do that.
you should. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it again soon. I'm sure. I keep thinking about it.
I want to talk to the neglected cast member of the pre-show, Dan. We've got something to talk about
Sup?
together now because a game came out this morning, officially, that I think me, you, and Adam have all played. Zeke and Max haven't played it. They talk enough during this shit, though. So Zeke's going to be fixing his green screen for the next 10 minutes or so. So we'll let him tend to that.
No, I'm just taking the shine off.
Yeah, no, I got it. Yeah.
Trying.
Max is probably still waking up, so we're good.
I am not. How dare you?
Uh-huh.
Look at this is showered, fresh faced, fucking like trimmed for the show. No, I didn't. I'd already shaved, but I'm here. Go ahead, talk about your game.
Well, if you're hearing random stuff, I'll just mute. I still don't understand why you guys
I heard
picked
random fucking like dubstep or something. Like I didn't know if it was like a feature.
that. No, I don't know why that happens.
Dubstep is the name of the farm where the Amish people make their artisanal dubstep.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why. Maybe it's
It's all
that.
analog.
Maybe it's that. I don't want to fiddle with that because then you guys might not be able to hear me. Anyways, Dan, how are you liking Pillars of Eternity 2?
It's really good so far. It fixes the biggest problem I had with the first game, which was the lack of voice acting.
Yes.
Just
Yeah.
reading
Well,
and reading and reading makes make a game feel really dated nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I
that's
couldn't
why I
get
didn't
the
play
Unity
Tyranny.
too.
Yeah, I skipped Tyranny because I was like, oh, there's like almost no voice acting. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'd rather just read a book like and sit down somewhere and if I'm gonna have to read that much versus
I'm
playing
saying.
a game.
Yeah. I wish
But yeah,
Ashley
like-
Johnson was able to say everything in that game, but I don't know if they could pay her enough for probably all
Yeah,
the
it would
text.
be a lot. So that would be, she'd be in there for months just reading all that text.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah.
It's good though.
Yeah, it's really good. They've improved combat. The combat's more fun than the first game. Like I remember the paladin in the first game like would just run out of things to do. He just basically auto attack all the time. But now you get to do a bunch of stuff with the new resources that each class gets.
Yeah.
I like that like wizards like recharge after each fight, so you don't have to like rest every time to get your spells back and stuff.
You can kind of cheese
always-
it though.
It's always really nice seeing game devs like learn from the original game, right? Because sometimes I was seeing this when I was playing. I was like, you can tell that every aspect of the game, they looked at their experience with the first one, with the first pillars, and we're like, all right, so these were some ideas that maybe didn't fly. Let's fix that. And I feel like to some degree or another, they've repaired most of the stuff that I found tedious about the old game.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I really, really love the world map. It's so cool.
Yes,
To just, like,
it's also
walk around
fucking
and
huge.
explore.
It's
Yeah.
really huge. I spent about 45 minutes today off stream just like driving around in my boat, looking at all this shit. I was like, oh,
I haven't
my
even gotten
God.
off the main island yet. I've been played like 5 hours. So like the first island is big.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you eventually if you see everything on an island, you get to name it.
What?
really?
Awesome.
So I didn't know this. I discovered the like 4 things on this island, and one of the bosses like bugged out or something. So I just named it Bug Island, and then on the map it says Bug Isle on there, like in the like actual text, like it would be a cartographer's
Such a nice
map.
touch.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I heard Dan, I heard you ran into the same bug that I did where at the beginning of the game, if you're like, nah, I'll pass on your quest, the whole game just crashes.
Yep.
It crashes for you guys.
We'll do the joke ending first, but they're just like, oh, we're gonna crash. We never tested this part of the game. We didn't expect
Mine
you to
worked
pick
fine
this
when I
option."
did that.
There's a part at the very
just ended.
beginning, in the very first conversation, where, like some games, they're like, you must do this thing. And one of the dialogue options is like, I must not do the thing. I will pass. Thank you. And then it's supposed to go to the credits and be like, congratulations, you didn't play. Like, you're done. But
Yeah.
instead, it was just like, nope, here's your desktop. We're done. Fuck you.
I tried removing the only time I've had a crash was when I tried removing someone from my party, and it like I removed them. It like hit the X to like get out of the set 5 to bring in someone else. And the second I did that, I go, fuck you, Aloth, and I hit it, and then the game crashed. So I was like, great.
Yeah.
That's good. But
It's less buggy than the first game when it launched.
Is it?
But there's like
Okay.
an occasional bug where sometimes someone will get a bug and other people won't. So it's like they're spotty.
Yeah.
Like I got a new ability on my paladin and it added it twice to the same spell in 2 slots.
Oh.
And I can't get it to go away.
Huh.
So they have like
I was
2 sworn enemy slots, which is driving me nuts.
Yeah.
My OCD is like freaking out.
I was
It's like
talking with
when I
Co earlier today, and there was something happened with like the AI scripting in the game for one of my characters where it kept like overriding my actions to it because it really wanted to do whatever it wanted to do. And I got really upset. I was like, whoever the fuck coded this AI is just the stupidest person. And someone in the chat was like, oh yeah, that was like, I forgot the actual guy's name, but it was a dev who was watching. He's like, by the way, that was Bob. I'll let him know that you're having issues and talk to him. I'm like, oh, fuck.
That's always one of those moments where like you get really mad. You say something about the devs and they're in chat. And you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. So that
I love the game. I was just mad. I'm sorry.
Yeah. What? So I started Wizard. You started Paladin, Dan. Is that what you said?
Paladin. Yep.
What did you start, Adam?
Chanter.
Okay. Are we all single classed or did anyone multi?
No.
Okay.
A single class.
Yeah. Single
Later
as
on in the
well.
game, I might multi like an NPC, which I love. And this is the first game I've played that did this. I get the Divinity 2 lets you do this. But when you get introduced to a new NPC, it's like, okay, which class do you want to be? Do you want Adar to be a fighter, a rogue, or a fighter rogue?
Yeah.
So you don't run into that Baldur's Gate problem where you're like, I'm going to be a wizard. And then it's like, cool, you meet 4 wizards.
Yep. It's cool.
No, what the hell?
Yeah. I don't. The multi-class stuff is cool, but I don't know. I'm thinking like since I'm playing on the hardest difficulty, I don't want to get to the end and be like, well, my spells I don't have like any of the good like 9th level spells. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I feel like once you play through the game once, you realize what top level spells aren't very
Right.
good, and you don't mind losing them.
Right.
But I wanted to get to the end to see what it felt like.
Yeah.
I do like that you can respec along the way though.
You
Like
can,
it makes
yeah.
me way less analysis paralysis where I'm like, I don't know, I'm gonna try these spells. And then if I play a fight and I'm like, oh great, I picked a crappy spell, I can just go back to town and be like, here, have some gold, fix my character.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's really nice.
The other thing I enjoy is with Wizard, you get to choose like your subclass. And I just went generalist because I didn't want to like miss out on spells. So I could just do everything, but I don't excel at anything, which kind of sucks, but whatever. And then some of the other classes are like the Cypher. His like level 1 spell is a charm, and it's just completely broken. Like it's turned fights into just, if I see, I'm playing on the hardest difficulty and I'll see someone with like 3 skulls over their head, which means they're really difficult. I just charm him, and then he just starts wailing on his enemy or on his teammates until they die. Then I just charm him again because it has like super fucking high roll percentages.
Half of the dam, it seems a little on the easy side. I don't think it's been like fully fleshed out yet. Like some enemies need more resistances to some CC and stuff. Because that you can just wipe stuff if you CC correctly.
Yeah.
I played a Cypher in the first game and it was just as broken.
It's really, and then they get an AoE version of that, so you can just like charm everyone and dominate one person or something. I don't know. But yeah, I hope they do like tweak the difficulty some. Because the only time I've had like really hard fights is where I'm just completely out leveled by something by like 4 or 5 levels, where I probably shouldn't even be able to kill it to begin with. But that's when it gets super difficult. But yeah, I'm surprisingly enjoying it.
I love the feature and the difficulty that the level scaling where it will take easy enemies and level them up.
Did you turn that
without
on?
Doing it. I turned on the mode where it levels easy enemies up but never down. So like enemies will always be challenging, which I always hated when you get to like a early level area late in the game and you like just steamroll it and it's not even that interesting.
I might do that.
It's kind of a cool feature.
Yeah, it makes the game seem, I guess, more fun in a way because everything's a challenge in that sense. I might turn that on because I've gone back and found islands that just have like, level 4 mobs and I'm like 8 or 9 and they just get completely demolished by one person.
Destroyed.
Yeah. So the other thing, and I think this is the reason why I enjoy it so much because I'm a loot whore, is the loot in this game is awesome. Like I just stumbled upon stuff. There's a lot of random like loot piles that you can get where things just happen to come out of there. It's really cool. And then you have like are they legendaries? What are the name of them? What are the yellow items called? Artifacts?
Something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
It's like artifacts. Then you have like soulbound artifacts where you can like level those items up and it gets crazy. They're really, really cool. Just the amount of items in there. I found a necklace that summoned a young Drake when I was like level 3 on like the second island that you visited. So I kind of breezed through the next couple levels because I just summoned a giant fucking dragon to fight for me. But apparently not everyone's that lucky. So I don't know. It's pretty good. Maybe they're called uniques. I think that's what it is. Unique than soulbound. The one thing I don't like the ship combat. I don't know if anyone else has gotten to that, but
I haven't got there yet. No.
It's like text-based combat. Like you click,
it's like storybook mode.
Yeah, you click a button and it's like, well, they turn to the left. They might be firing their weapons. What do you do? I guess I'm gonna go full speed ahead and ram them, and
Yeah, Kingmaker did that too. I feel like most, instead of creating unique subsystems for their games, most of these like Baldur's Gate style games are just like, there's the game, which is fighting and walking around and talking to people, and then there's everything else, which is just a block of text, and then you pick one of 6 options depending on what's available to you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it would be nice if the game, because I was under the impression the game was very like, it's about ship stuff and pirate stuff.
It is.
And like, if you do that a lot, I would have hoped that there was like a separate subsystem for it.
It's pretty expansive from what I've seen. Like I walked into a town and saw a boat that was like 70,000 gold. So I think that's kind of like one of the, not in the game stuff, but one of the things that you can like push to, level 20 and beyond is finding like the legendary pirates and shit like that.
Like in text form.
Yeah, but it's all text form. So I don't know. I haven't spent too much time with that. I mostly just go from island to island looking for loot and then being really excited when I get like a random piece of armor or weapon. I'm like, oh, that's that's 4 numbers higher than the last one. Let's go ahead and put that on that guy, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, I've put like 25 hours into it. So it's, it's pretty good.
It's a fun little game. I can't wait to play all through the whole thing. I'm enjoying it so far.
I really wanted to play off stream today, but I didn't want to piss anyone off when they came back, and I'm like, I'm 4 levels higher and some stuff happened. Don't worry about it. Anyways.
Right. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Some NPCs died and my character now has 3 kids. Don't worry about it. It's not
that happened.
Minor details.
Exactly.
Minor details.
Exactly. I'm sure we'll be talking about that some next week as well. Anyways, Max, to tie you into the Pillars of Eternity 2 talk, there's a room that you can walk into, and it just has the worst music of all time. And I thought of you playing that stupid fucking thing.
What stupid thing?
I can't think of the name because I have all these Pillars of Eternity 2 terms in my head. The hurdy-gurdy, yeah. Yeah.
All right.
It's like a spa area.
I was thinking of this. Okay,
noise.
so this is a classic thing. Like if you're making a fantasy role-playing game, you have to include a corny looping like inn music theme. It has to be in your game. Like if you go into an inn, every inn has got to have the same fucking music and it's got to be the same 1-minute loop. What is your favorite crappy inn music from a video game? I know my answer already because I was thinking.
You just asking anybody?
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think?
Define that again.
Well, like, you know, you go into like the inn in a game and they play that like,
okay.
Yeah, like an inn or like a tavern or whatever, your shitty tavern, looping tavern music.
Does a coffee shop count? Because I'd go with Persona.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's a nice one. I like
Persona's not bad.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's not necessarily an inn, but like the Orgrimmar music in World of Warcraft, like that's going to be ingrained in my brain and soul and heart for just the end of time.
Chad is mentioning The Witcher 3 in music is absolutely part of that genre of like, we got a bunch of medieval musical instruments together and we played 2 minutes of music and you're going to be listening to this until you die. Like, this is it for you.
Yeah.
That's not the lay stuff, right? That's battle.
That's the fight fight music. Yeah.
The most egregious example of this is the Daggerfall in music. So Daggerfall is a huge game. I think it might still be map-wise the biggest role-playing game ever made. A lot of it is randomly generated, and like 95% of it is all exactly the same. Like every single town is the same as every other single town, except the buildings are arranged differently. And the in music is 1 minute and 9 seconds long. And it's the music they play in every inn and every shop in the whole game. So within about a couple of hours, you're like, this music is haunting my nightmares. What's happening? And by the time you get to the end of the game, you're just like, no, I'm never going into another inn again.
I actually have a better answer. The music that you hear on the first island in Pillars of Eternity 2 is the break music for Critical Role. And I fucking hate it so goddamn much. Because they have full rights to use Pillars of Eternity 1 music. And so the second that came on, I was like, is this the fucking music where they just show art for like 30 minutes while they're on break? Everyone's like, yeah, it is. And so anytime it plays, I'm like, all right, everyone, show me your art. Paste it up and because I just can't stand it. It's just the worst. It shows up in other parts of the game as well. It's really bad. But it's not a bad song. It's just after you've heard it loop like 400 times waiting for a show to start.
And that's what makes it so terrible, right? Is it's 16 bars of the same shit over and over and over. And like the first few times you're like, oh, this is catchy and cute. I like this. And you're like, fucking cram that loot up your ass. The
other part that's funny as fuck to me about that is when I first said that, I was like, oh, it's that song that Critical Role has. Not, it's that Pillars of Eternity song. Right. Oh, this is the Critical Role song. Critical Role made this music, blah, blah, blah. Like, oh my God.
Well, and so how long is it going to be before, like, because this Critical Role is a big partnership for them at Obsidian.
Really big, yeah. Right? Matthew Mercer's the first 17 characters you meet.
That's right. Yeah. It's one of the first games that I can remember that really aggressively went in on like, these voice actors are in this game. Not like these actors are in this game, because we've definitely seen that, but like, check it out. The cast of Critical Role is in this game. This is the unofficial official Critical Role game.
I mean,
so
it's super smart. Like they're going to sell a fucking ton of copies because they made Critical Role's first campaign. All of their characters are in the game as actual characters that are fully voiced by the actual people with voice lines from the first campaign. So like Critical Role fans, which is a massive audience, are just going to eat that shit up. And they won't even care about the Pillar of Eternity characters or story. They're just going to be like, I want to hear Matt Mercer talk to Ashley Johnson. It's got to be the best. Yeah.
I mean, it's going to sell copies. So like
100%.
No one's going to care about that. They're all going to just be like, yep, cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's smart as fuck. I think it's brilliant that they ended up doing that. I can't really think of another game that's like gone in and done something like that.
I just feel bad, and by feel bad, I don't feel bad. But I feel bad for Wizards of the Coast because they've never really had like a super successful, not modern anyway, like video game.
Yeah.
Like really, when people are like, think, what's your favorite D&D game?
They think
that
like
wasn't made in the
Chronicles
90s.
Yeah, Chronicles of the Star or whatever is what it is.
Yeah, like people played a lot of Baldur's Gate, but it's kind of been downhill for games since then. And then this D&D campaign, this massively successful D&D campaign, they're playing a game that has nothing to do with D&D. So it's like, you got to feel like Wizards feels a little bit like, why can't we make a good D&D game anymore? What the hell happened?
They just need to license it out to the right people. That's all they got to do.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite, they were talking about Matt Mercer. One of my favorite things to do is when you run into like any voice actor that doesn't make sense, like a tribesman or something that's in the middle of a fucking forest, who's just nowhere near what Matt could actually produce as a vocal thing out of his mouth. I'm just, man, Mercer's got range. Like, I can't believe he nailed this. Just sounds great. Sounds great. It's good. It's good. Anyways.
To answer your question, Ragnar the Red.
Uh-oh.
In Skyrim.
Ragnar the Red.
Yep.
It's a good one.
That's the other I don't know names of songs from games. I only know the song. So
Silent Bard's mod is a must.
What was that?
Silent Bard's mod is a must in Skyrim. It's
yeah.
Oh.
So they don't sing randomly. They'll just play the music and that's it. It's amazing.
That's good.
Nice.
Yeah. That would be nice. I thought it just got rid of the music in total. Sometimes it's funny to hear that you don't want to hear Ragnar the Red from them.
You can go up and talk to them and request the song and they'll play it, but they don't just do it on their own. So you got
to be a mod where you can take their loot away and break it. Just smash it on the ground in front of them.
Dan, this is a song about Skyrim's staunch protectors, the Nords.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I've only played Skyrim once, so I honestly can't recall any of it. I guess if I heard it, I'd probably know it, but I don't know the song that which you are referencing. I apologize, Max. I'll have to go and listen to it after this for you. And then you have to learn it on the hurdy-gurdy and play it for us next week.
Yeah.
I have to have a hurdy-gurdy that doesn't sound like something dying in a crazy fucking cave in Dark Souls before.
Nope. You can play it on that hurdy-gurdy if you'd like. We'd probably be...
I gotta tell you, it sounds like you're blaming the hurdy-gurdy for a Max problem.
Do you want me to play a note on there right now? Because I will.
Do it. Rip it out. Let it go.
Tempt him, Frodo.
Let it go.
Tempt him, Frodo.
Just let it rip. There we go.
Turn it down. Turn your spears down.
You've been warned.
Yes.
Want me to go higher?
Yes.
Keep stretching that cat, Max.
Give it to me. Come on. I can handle it.
I mean, at least you understand how to go.
Tennessee. That's my safe word. Tennessee.
At least you know how to like go higher now. I think that's an improvement. You're learning, Max.
I knew how to go higher before.
Okay.
There's a cable under my chair wheel. Hold on.
You got to watch out for those cables, though. You got to go wireless, Max. So
Look at this arrogant motherfucker now. Oh, you guys with your cables. Yeah. That must be hard for you.
Look, I still have
well, you
cables.
know what?
I'm like
My
cabled
cables-
with a giant paperweight, so I'm the idiot.
They're
here.
working, and I didn't spend hours earlier fuddling around with them.
I got
Fuddling
as
is
far
a word.
as to getting everything over to the mixer, but I have zero fucking clue how to get that out back to the PC. Just zero fucking ideas.
So that's how you're going cableless, right? You're just doing everything wireless. It's like a wireless mixer that pipes the signal back to where you want all the studio equipment to actually be.
Yep, it goes over the Ethernets. Like, I can get everything to the mixer. Zero. Like, I can get everything to the mixer, and then if I literally just ran a fucking XLR cable out of the mixer to the PC, it would work. But it's like that one cable. I'm like, no, this is not how this is supposed to work. I'm going to figure this out. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Huh.
I hope I figure it out. By figure it out, I mean reach out to multiple people that potentially could have the answer and try to find it. That's
Hey,
the
you
plan
know
right
what?
now.
People who don't ask for help usually don't succeed very often.
There you go. There you go. Exactly. Zeke, what have you been up to? I know you finished God of War last night. That's kind of
I did.
the talk of the town,
Yeah.
at least from you that I've seen.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a lot more tomorrow, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But, man, what a fucking fantastic game. It is so just visually, audio, like, the story is good. I mean, the story is it's not like bar none stellar, best story I've ever, been a part of. The story was definitely very good, like better than most video game stories.
Yeah.
But the standouts were the visuals and the different combat styles you could do. The difficulty I think it was great. The once I took it down from the hardest to the next hardest,
Yeah.
it definitely like became a challenge, but fucking doable. There were parts where I got really frustrated, but it all felt like I could actually do it. Whereas the hardest challenge, like at that time, I was like, I don't know this game well enough, I don't think, to do the hardest challenge yet.
Yeah.
And I'm not willing to just beat my head against a wall until I figure it out. I'm going to play through it on the next one down and then go through it on the hardest. But it's one of those rare games where I'm like, kind of really want 100% it. I kind of really want to do everything.
I realized, and it took God of War for this to occur. I realized the only way I will ever 100% a game is if I don't finish it and do everything else first before I go fight the final thing or see the final cutscene. Because the second I see that shit and I have conclusion, I'm out. Like I could give a fuck about the rest of that game.
I felt that too.
Yeah.
I totally felt that after I completed. I was like, I did one more thing and I went, I'm good.
Yeah, that's exactly how it was for me.
I might go back though. I might still go back and just tool around and defeat all the things that all the fights and all the challenges and whatnot to get it completed 100%. But
Yeah.
it'll probably just be like a leisurely activity.
Those fights are worth
Hunting
seeing. I'll
down
say that.
every single one of those obnoxious little birds. Good luck.
Yeah,
with
the Ravens.
really
Yeah.
fun gameplay experience. But the Valkyrie fights, like I went back and I did all of them off stream, and they're the best fights in the game. Like they're way better than the boss.
Oh yeah,
fights.
they have like their own mechanics and everything. Like they're
Straight up some Dark
great.
Souls shit. Those fights.
Yeah.
I love them.
Oh, yeah.
That was my favorite part of the game. Like I remember fighting the first Valkyrie and being like, oh yeah, this is the shit right here. And then definitely as soon as I finished, I was like, no, we're going back and doing it.
Yep.
Yeah, I really like the whole like Poison Mistworld section.
It's like
that
a
whole like
roguelike.
mini game. Yeah, it's like a roguelike mini game within the game using the game's combat. I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was a weird balance because I think that if you did it, when I played it, I went there as soon as I could, the Niflheim area, and I did it enough to get a full suit, and then you will never equip another piece of armor in the game. Like you're
Yeah,
just
it's
like,
the best.
cool. I have my invincible bulletproof shit now. I'm gonna go roll the rest of the game,
Yeah.
and then come back.
I didn't do any of that
but yeah.
till after I'd finished it, and I was just like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
I knew the armor existed, but I was like, that's probably way too difficult. I'm not going to go bother. And then you can literally just run in there, skip every fight, grab a bunch of chests, and then just leave and pretty much get the full first set of armor. Like you don't really have to fight that much.
Yeah, you could totally.
Yeah. And then everything else in there that's like, the other thing is I did that on the hardest. Dan, did you play on the hardest difficulty or did you play one down?
One notch down.
See, on the hardest difficulty, that place fucking sucks because if you get a skeleton that's like dual wielding, they just run at you with their like the thing that has like the lava shit that comes up from the ground. And if you're not ready for it, they just one shot you. And so you can have like 4,000 mist or whatever, and you'll walk into a fight and just get straight up one shot by this mob. And so I think that's the part where I was like, I'm not gonna bother getting all this shit. I'm gonna bounce. So
Yeah.
it's a good game though, Zeke. I'm excited to. We're gonna do a spoiler cast tomorrow with me, Zeke, and Baru talking all about it. So if you want to chalk God of War, we'll be chatting about that towards the end of the show tomorrow. Adam, anything new with you? Anything going on?
I don't know. We get this space thing going on tomorrow that I guess is like kind of a thing.
Sounds lame.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Nerd.
Yeah, we got that going on.
Max,
so.
I was proud of you today when I was like, fucking Max is not going to have any of his character sheet done. He's not going to have his character name in there. And I loaded up Roll20 I was like, oh my God, Max is not the person I'm waiting on here. It's fully done. It's filled out and everything.
Max, did you get speaking of which, you get the messages I sent you on Slack with your secret mission? Okay, just check it between today. Check it between today and tomorrow. I sent you a PM.
Is this a real thing?
It's a real thing. I sent it to you yesterday.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so Far Verona obviously is like the big thing I've been doing. It's like I'm invested to the point where like yesterday I was like, well, I'm not playing Pillars yet, so I could probably find some game to play, or I could just like do GM prep and lore shit for 4 hours straight. So I did that, and that was really fun. Yeah, people are getting real excited about. There was a whole in-character New Year's Eve party that happened on a different Discord server.
I started to say, why didn't you go and join the 3-day New Year's Eve party that is occurring?
Because I went in and I looked around and I watched
3 days
other people roleplay.
Yeah,
they started 3 days ago. There's like all this like stuff going on. Apparently, like some pirates kidnapped somebody from the party. It was a whole thing. But yeah, so that's been eating up most of my brain time since I beat God of War and been waiting for Pillars. So
yeah,
looking forward to that tomorrow.
It's getting intense for sure. I'm excited to see what happens on the show tomorrow.
Yeah,
and I hope everything works because I got to build the show right after Drop Frame Ends. I was talking about that before, but that's tomorrow, so I don't have to worry about it right now. What I do have to worry about is Zeke getting me fucking killed. So we should probably do this.
I was asking.
Not gonna happen. We're gonna live, buddy. We're gonna be fine.
Oh yeah, that totally is happening. Let's watch that happen.
We're not going first. You guys are gonna come in and save us.
When's the next episode? So like, okay, let's imagine hypothetically. Let's imagine you die today, Zeke. The next episode's on the 15th, but the new D&D book, Mordenkainen's, comes out on the 18th. So like, if you just want to skip a week and make your character after that, I would totally understand.
It's true.
But yeah, let's see. So I mean, we'll be optimistic. We'll imagine that it's possible that you could live. Let's do goals. So if you do survive, you can get some experience points. Kalimat, what are your goals for today's episode?
Can I just say get out alive? Get out
yes,
of this place alive.
That is absolutely a goal. Get out of here alive. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a
so
fair goal.
We have your secret one. And then I have find out what the prisoner in the oubliette is and get the key from the Devil's Vault. Which one do you want to change to get out of here alive?
I'm gonna take off. I'm gonna take off the secret one.
Okay, sure. Yeah, because I mean, all right. So get out of the Archive of the Sun alive. Okay, cool. So that's like an all or nothing situation. Okay.
How difficult would you say that goal is, Adam? You know, if you had to pin an XP value to it, where would you?
Gosh, I mean, if you live, it will be worth a considerable sum of experience points. Yeah, you'll be doing okay if you get out of this one alive. Assuming, because if you fail at that one, your other two goals don't matter for shit. But
right,
assuming you get out of that one, what do you want your other two to be? Do you want one about the archive? Because if you can like kill this dude, there may be still a chance to get something out of the archive, right? I think Sully might also. You have an opportunity to have one too, right?
Yeah, I have an open goal. So
yeah. Do you want to keep your other two, Zeke, or do you want to change? Like, find out what the prisoner is. How you feeling about those?
I'll keep those ones.
Keep those ones? Okay.
I'm fine.
Right.
I want to focus on one. Just focus on one goal.
Okay. All right. So Sully Hapa, you have your ongoing make peace with Berg goal. You have your talk to your mentor goal. And then you have an open one. Do you want to change either of the two that you have?
No, I'll keep those. I think. I don't know. Go to the other two people first. Give me a second.
Okay. All right.
I feel like that's what we all do.
Yeah.
Berg and Ramus, you guys are you're going to have a couple of hours of like time before Kalimat's potential dismembering to do stuff, right? Because you were like, cool, we'll wait out here. And if you don't come back, then and you can write goals about what, like, remember the tower is kind of at your service, right? So you could have returned to the tower, gotten some people. There was some talk about sacking the temple to the sun. What do you think, Berg? I've got your 3 usual, like, your goals from last time. Find out why bad things happen, learn how the arm works, and find out more about these orcs that like you.
Oh yeah, that's the last one that I had on there. For some reason, my first goal was blank on my sheet. Yeah, I think I can keep those.
Okay.
I was gonna. I didn't see the find out more about the orcs, but I'm interested in that. It seems like it might align with where we're going, anyways, because there was talk about orcs being down there and potentially the cult. If I'm remembering it correctly, that there might be some orcs.
So there's a chain. Yeah, there's a chain of events that leads to the destruction of the city, and going backwards, it's capture the immortals. Or it's sacrifice the immortals, capture the immortals, get into the immortals' secret base, get the key from the Devil's Vault, get to the Devil's Vault, find out where the Devil's Vault is, potentially talk to some orcs who might lead you into that thing. So yes, there is if you wind back far enough, that might be a way to access the vault.
Yeah. We'll say learn more about the orc cult / talk to them.
Yeah, sure. So interact with them, discover where they are.
Yeah, interact with them.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right, Ramus, what do you want to do? You also have the potential, like, learn about the bird cult, and then you want to retrieve something valuable for yourself from the vault, and then find out more about Tulpa or the elves. Do you want to change any of those?
I'll change the orc one to rescue Sally and Kalamat from the temple.
Okay.
You have my spell book too. You could probably get some XP for that.
Yeah. They you have the
Or sorry, the spell book that you
Hobgoblin
that you may or may not give me.
Yeah, you have a spell
Yeah.
book. Okay. Cool. All right, good. So rescue them from the temple. Excellent. Okay, and Sully Hoffa, what do you want to do?
All right, I'm gonna shelve contact my mentor in Turtle Town. Don't think that's gonna happen. This.
Sure, you can always pull down the later.
I'm just gonna type. Is shelved with a V?
Shelve is VE.
Okay. Shelved, and then I'm gonna just make one very specific goal. I want to overpower. Is it Itas? Is that what you said? Itihas?
Yes, the god's name is Itihas.
Itihas, yeah. I want to overpower Itihas.
Okay.
And the other goal is
So when you overpower him, what does that mean? Like wrestle him into submission? Force him to submit?
yes, force him to submit by any means possible.
Sure, it doesn't matter how, but like that's how we'll know you've done it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which
he
is kind of a
surrenders or
goal is probably not going to work. And then the other one is to save. Am I in any danger? Not really. He's not. I'm in his way right now, I think, is how I would.
You're a big turtle.
Danger is relative, right? Like if you were just to back away and ignore.
Well,
the
here's what I'm
situation,
asking. Should the goal be save Kalimat or save each other?
Overpower Idias, and then you could make it clear and just be like, get out of the archive alive.
Okay,
in the
yeah,
same
let's
way
just
Kalimat did.
Get out together with Kalimat.
Okay, so get Kalimat out of life. Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
Right. Get out of the archive of the sun alive.
I like these goals. I gotta say, I like them.
All right, so you and Kalimat out of the archive of the sun alive. Excellent. Okay. So when we fade back into the episode, it's all clashing mandibles, dripping venom, the screeching sound of the terrible and hungry insectoid creature, Itihas, the forgotten god, desperate to jam Kalimat into his gullet so that he might consume this near forgotten entity. We have Sully Hoffa, who is still enormous kaiju turtle mode. And there's this scene down in the basement illuminated by the sort of magical glow. But instead of sticking there, we freeze frame the scene, and we get a subtitle that says several hours earlier, and we crossfade to Berg and Ramus. And I want to get the moment for Berg and Ramus when you decide to stop sitting on your ass. Where you're like, they're not coming back. Like, what does that realization look like? Who's the one that says it, and what do you do next?
I think Berg might be sitting down, like on the wherever we happen to be. Just like, where were we before? Were we by the tower or wherever?
You're
This is
essentially
kind of
just like
wherever.
out. You're just out in the courtyard of the
Yeah.
Plaza of the Gods. There's all the temples, and yeah, it's like the two of you are just kind of sitting on the stoop of the 40, just like hanging out in the sun. So like, yeah.
Berg's like just throwing a rock, like picking at the dirt and stuff that he's just kind of squatted by on the ground, and he just eventually looks up at Ramus.
So, do you think they're dead, or we've been waiting forever?
Hold on, Berg. 2 guards in the wall. Oh, what? Oh, yes. They've been gone a very, very long time.
What was that? What were you doing?
Oh, just... I'm very observant and wise, Berg. I've been taking notes about...
Would you like to make a roll to like assess the defenses of the temple?
Yes, I would.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you're familiar with the way that these temples are built and defended. You were a former member of their clergy. Make a, I want to say probably like perception or investigation check, but let me take a quick look at the character sheets. Let's see here. Yeah, let's have you make a perception check.
Okay.
And roll it with advantage.
18.
Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. So they have like, they probably have some relatively skilled priests. So people who'd use like prayer magic against you, but very little in the way of armed guards, right? Like there's probably like 20 or so like soldier types, like armed, shielded and equipped with swords or spears. And then maybe half that again, like spellcasters. There may be a wizard or two, but you could overwhelm them with brute force or with attrition. You know that the tower has certainly more men than that. Yeah, this place seems mostly to be occupied by refugees and like lay worshippers and sort of non-clergy, from what you can tell based on people coming and going.
The sun has seen better days, Berg. They seem rather light on defense.
Light.
So,
Because like the
You
sun,
want-
Berg, you get it?
Yeah, 'cause
oh,
it's light.
it's very funny, Ramus. So you want to go murder them all, is that right?
Well, it's not that I want to. It's, like we have obligations to our friends. They need us. The tower
I'm not-
needs us to
I'm
bring
not
them
judging.
along to come. I know.
I'm down, if you want to.
But I am a merciful man, and I will give them a chance to join us or surrender. But if they don't, the Shadow's Tower may fall upon their temple today.
Well, it's better than waiting around here.
That's right. Let's go back and talk to our friends at the tower.
Berg just kind of gets up and dusts himself off, gets ready to move.
All right. Yeah. So you head back across the plaza, and there is as usual the collection of trembling supplicants surrounding the tower, looking up in placating fear, hoping that the tower will stop whatever horrible shit is going on in the city one way or another. And you just walk up to the front door. You are given entry into the tower proper, and you return to the house at the end of all. There are, as usual, priests and soldiers, monsters, humans, and other all gathered together, operating the various things that the tower is doing in the city.
Who looks like they're in charge around here? Needs someone high ranking. I look around and see if I can find someone who looks like they're issuing commands or more of in charge than.
Yeah, sure. There was a war priest that you had talked to before, the one that was part of that battle. I think you spot him around. Oh yeah, you never got his name. I know what it is. It's very long and complicated, but you never asked him what it was. Yeah, so you see that guy. He's like middle-aged, court of wands, dressed in the raiments of a priest, but clad as though a warrior. Probably got some paladin levels in him. And you see him, and he's talking with a group of ogres, actually. There's maybe like, I don't know, 4 or 5 of them. And he's trying to explain something to them. He's like, no, north is when you're standing, and he like sees you walking over, and he looks over at you like, help me get out of this conversation, please.
That you're living my life every day, explaining to an orc how to do things. I sympathize. He
says, an orc? I give my left nut for a group of orcs. These, and he gestures at the ogres, you don't even know. And by the time like he's looked away long enough, like even 30 seconds to talk to you, 2 of them have gotten in a fight. One has fallen asleep, and then there's the other one is like standing there trying to get his finger out of his nose, which has gotten stuck somehow.
I'm sorry that you have to deal with these kind of imbeciles.
He shrugs. He says, all in service of the tower. Besides, they hit like a pack of mules or a siege engine. I just need somewhere to point them.
I'm glad you said that, because I think it's time that we dealt with the sun. Our friends are trapped inside, and this is a perfect opportunity to take care of 2 things at once. The tower's been in our way for far too long.
The tower.
And he says, the Fortress of the Sun, what are they doing there?
They were trying to get some information about the elves from their archives, but you know how protective and the sun is of their knowledge.
He nods. He says, we're going to have to burn it all, of course. The whole archive.
Of course. We'll extract what we need first, and then we'll have to get rid of whatever they have to protect it from the elves, of course. But
he nods.
The fraying.
It was on the list. What do you need? How can we help?
Well, we need an assault force. A siege. These ogres would be great siege. These ogres would be good siege engines. But we'll give the sun one chance to step down and make our job easy. They probably have families, or they may not want to all die today. We'll give them one chance to serve the tower or step aside.
He nods and he says, do you want to be the one to have that conversation with them?
Yes, I think me and Berg will handle the negotiation. And if it fails, well, your ogres will have lots to do today.
He says, we already have some documentation on what it would take to knock over the Sun's temple. I'll find those notes while you're gone and start building a force. And and he's distracted for a second, so you hear some noise from the ogre, and he turns and basically like he kind of fades off the screen, shouting at them like, no, don't put that down, don't touch that, and trying to corral the ogres. But yeah, he'll put together a group for you to command if need be. But you have the opportunity to try to talk to them if that's indeed your plan.
Yeah, I think we want to give them like one chance to, because I think Ramus thinks that in a siege, Sali and Kaimat could get hurt accidentally. Yeah. So we want to like try to do it peacefully if we can.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you've got confirmation from the tower that they'll provide forces. It should be no problem to knock over their beautiful ivory tower or ivory temple. But in the meantime, you want to just head back over there and try to talk to somebody?
Yeah, I think that's the plan.
Okay. Berg, you see this exchange go on. Anything to say, or do you just follow Ramus back out?
Yeah, I kind of just follow the exchange when he mentions the whole, we'll do the talking. Berg's like, okay. Like, you'll do the talking. But yeah, he doesn't really have anything to add into the conversation, so he's just kind of sitting there, or standing there rather.
All right, so the two of you are heading back across the temple, across the plaza, and the sun is probably like most way across the sky. Night will be falling in a couple of hours, and and it's still blazingly hot. You're crossing this plaza, and there are a few people that watch you leave. Maybe you get some wails of begging for mercy for the city from some of the supplicants. But for the most part, you can come and go as you please.
All right, Berg. We have to give them one chance. Can't just slaughter them. There's no fun in that.
Right. And also, because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. Oh, that's good, Berg. That's great.
Berg like kind of laughs like I was being serious, but yeah.
Oh, Berg, you crack me up. I love you.
I think that's the first time you've ever said that to me.
Suddenly some like Celine Dion comes in the background. The lens gets all like Vaseline in slow motion. So I mean, I assume Ramus just keeps walking and Bert.
There's just
Yeah,
an
I don't
awkward
think I
moment there.
respond to that.
Like Bert just said that. He didn't
Well,
mean
I
it.
didn't hear that.
Mhm.
I think we walk up and to the front steps and walk up to the front steps and gesture a guard to come to us, or a priest if anyone's outside.
Yeah, they see you come back and they look at you like you again. And the guard looks down and he says, "What do you want?"
Me and my companion here are from the Temple of the Tower. We need to speak to whoever's in charge here. It's of utmost importance.
We have already spoken with your priests. They told us that our cause was done, to give up, to leave. We said no. The Church of the Sun never gives up hope.
That's why we're here. Your time is running out. We need to speak to whoever's in charge. This may be your last chance to walk out of here.
And he sighs. Make a persuasion check. Let's see how he feels about this.
15?
So he sighs and he says, "I'm just a guard. I don't have to deal with this. Stay here. I will go get a priest." And he turns and heads into the temple complex. You think you can hear someone playing like a harp or something from within? I think it's just gently like playing on the breeze. Maybe some singing, a little kumbaya
Just
going on from
playing a harp while the city's going to shit.
Yeah, I mean they're maintaining the semblance that there's still hope. So you hear this music floating off from there, and yeah, so you wait a few minutes, and you see a familiar looking priest who emerges from the temple. It's the same guy as before. Was his name Corona? Brilliant Corona of gold. So he comes to the top and he looks down and he sighs when he sees you. It's a common reaction I think that you get, and he sneers a little and he says, "Oh, you again? I already told you you're not getting in here."
That's where you're wrong, my friend. We have some things to talk about.
"Oh, I don't think so. We've spoken with the priests of the tower already. You gave your ultimatum and we said no. Hope springs eternal, and we will not give up the city. Not for anything."
Look around you, damn it. Look at the burning temple. I point at each of the temple. It's on fire.
You're right.
Look
Like
at the
rumble.
bodies. Look at the crumbling world around you. What city is left? Where is your hope?
He says, he looks up at the sun sort of slowly like dipping down below the horizon, and he says, So long as the golden rays of the sun bathe the city in their radiance, we shall never give up. We shall never surrender, for hope dwelleth within the heart of all men, even those driven to the end. Look within yourself, fool. You will see there the seed of hope still groweth. All men bear within them the divine spark.
As he's going,
the
Berg attempts to knock him out.
How do you do that?
I mean, he's just gonna straight up try to just.
Well, he's
No,
at the
he'll
top
knock him
of
out.
he's at the top of the stairs.
Oh.
So you're like
damn it.
down at the bottom. But you could still do something, right? Like
I thought he was right in front of us, like talking to us. So he's talking down to us.
yeah.
Adam,
I mean you could just you're fast, right? You could just rush
Yeah.
up the stairs.
I'll rush up and just knock him out if I can.
Make an initiative roll. This is gonna go great. I'm really excited.
All right. I just can't hear this shit anymore.
Yeah. Okay, he got a 5. Okay. So you stride up the flight of steps like a gazelle. You just like fly up and his eyes go wide, and before you even realize what's going on, and then what do you want to do? Like you get up to the top. Do you want to just like get him in a headlock or
Yeah. I just want. I guess.
suplex
Yeah.
him, or-
Suplex him and.
Yeah, I mean, so
roll
describe.
athletics.
Like, I'll get you to roll. We'll get you to roll athletics. But describe what happened. So you rush up the stairs before this guy has a chance to react.
Yeah. I mean, I want to grapple him and choke him out, basically.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Just to silence him. I'm not trying to kill him just yet, but
Yeah. So you just throw yourself at him and grab him around the neck, and he's like trying to fight you off. Okay, make an
Yeah.
athletics check.
okay. Please be good. All right.
Ooh, beat me by 1. Okay. All right. So you like get him in a sleeper, and like you're squeezing your. And is this the stone arm you're doing this
Yep.
with?
Yep.
Okay. So he's just like grabbing the arm and turning purple and like and like his tongue's sticking out. And yeah, he eventually passes out. You can see his little sandaled feet like kicking on the marble steps.
That's-
One of his
yeah.
sandals falls off.
As he like slumps down and goes.
Yeah.
Berg just kind of like as a beat goes by and Berg's like,
He's right. I do feel hopeful.
and just looks
Yeah.
at Ramus.
As glad as I am to hear him shut it up, I need to speak to him, you dumbass.
Well, now you can do so on your terms.
Pick him up. Bring him with us.
Berg like walks away from the body without picking him up.
Yeah. So he's lying
Please.
there in his like toga and his like gold torque and just like laying on the stone
Yeah.
and his
Berg,
tongue
like,
sticking.
a couple paces away from the body and stares at Ramus and just looks at him.
Could you pick him up, please, Berg?
Thank you.
Berg goes over.
Okay. All right. So in the background of the shot, as you carry him away, we see 2 guards at the temple looking at each other. They're seeming like arguing, sort of whisper arguing. And one of them throws his spear on the ground, pulls the sun tabard off his head, throws that on the ground on top of it, and storms off in the other direction. And then the one remaining guard is just standing there like, what's happening? This is bad. I don't like this. And and the 2 of you and Brilliant Corona head back to the tower, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where is the next scene? Where do you interrogate or talk to this guy?
He's going to wake up tied to a chair, like looking at our assault force.
So just
Everybody's
like out
just
in the
lined up.
Okay.
I like
Yeah.
that.
All right. And is this inside the house of the end of all, or is this outside?
Probably inside, like
Okay,
where
all
our
right, so
forces
you're
are
in-
lined up.
Yeah, you're in this. So remember the main floor of the house of the end of all is a big sort of ring-shaped room, which at the back has stairs that lead up in the rest of the tower. But down here, the main sort of event is this massive black pit in the center. No one really knows what it leads to, but it's like this great deep hole. Some say it's a bottomless pit. Others say that it's a magical chasm from which nothing can return. But basically, it's where all things that must be sacrificed forever go. So I imagine he's tied to a chair sitting at the edge of this pit, probably. And then arrayed out in a fan shape between him and the door is, like a half dozen ogres probably 40 human irregulars, and I imagine like a troll or two should be sufficient to knock the place down. And so they're like arrayed out in front of him, and this guy, he kind of comes to. What's going? Where am I? What is this? What have you done?
Good morning, sunshine. Oh, you seem to have fallen asleep.
And he's like struggling in the chair. He's like, what is the meaning of this? I'm a very important priest of the sun. You can't do this to me.
I wouldn't struggle too much if I were you. Look behind you.
He looks over his shoulders. By all the arcana, no, please. You can't. You wouldn't dare.
Now,
There's always hope, remember?
And he like stops, and you can see him like trembling. And I think that we hear the sound. Initially, you're like, what is that? Is it somebody running a tap? And we look down, and the midsection to the like ankles of his white cotton robes have become stained, and there is a puddle of golden fluid growing around the chair.
now, you listen here, you ignorant little fool. The ultimatum is over. Your time is up. These people are marching on your temple to knock it down whether you are in there or not. This is your one chance to save the lives of all the cowards that hide in there as the city falls around you, clinging to your false hope that you spread to these people. You will go back there and tell them to lay down their arms and leave the temple, or they will all die. I will take the sun out of the sky, put it behind the tower, so nothing but the shadow of the tower falls upon your temple this day.
And he's like trembling in terror as you like lay into him. Make an intimidation check. You can do it with I guess intimidation is normally charisma. So yeah, make intimidation. You can do it with advantage. And I'm gonna oppose with his religion.
I'll use guidance for this as well.
Okay, yeah, of course. Yeah, totally. Because the whole speech is a prayer.
Oh, that's horrible.
Oh dear. Okay. All right.
Well, we have 13.
Okay. All right. So let's see. He's probably got a religion 3. Let's see how he does. All right. So he like takes a couple of deep breaths and he like lifts his head back and looks at you and he says, I don't care what you threaten me with. I know there will always be hope. The world is full of bullies and brigands like you and your half-orc friend. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happens to the city or to the temple. All of my fellow priests would happily die in service of the sun, if only that it shows that until the last we stood, and that tomorrow the sun will rise again, whether the temple is there or not. That is the one thing you and your nihilistic friends will never understand. Hope cannot be killed. Hope cannot be extinguished. And he's just like,
shut up. You will be known as the cowards that hid behind your temple doors as people died in the streets while you cowered in fear. You will inspire the opposite of hope in people, that the people of the sun hid away in the back as people died when they needed them the most. You will instill fear into the people, the exact opposite of what you wanted. And here on this day, you will be the first to die, and then all the rest. And I kick him into the fucking pit.
So is this like a kick in the chest, or is this you just like put your toe under the chair and tip him backwards? Or
just enough for it to teeter, and then
he
just falls back when he.
This is the tower.
so he teeters for a second, and he looks at you, and there's this moment where you see. Make an insight check. Make an insight check for me. Because there's a moment where he like tips at the edge of the tower. Okay. So you see in him, despite the strength of his religious convictions, that in this moment, literally hanging over the precipice of death, you realize that like all of that doesn't matter. But like all of his religious beliefs and stuff, they fade from him in the moment where he realizes he's about to die. Like there's just nothing there. And all you see is like animal terror as he tumbles backwards. And this pit is huge, right? It's like, I don't know, like 20 feet across. And he falls, and you only see him fall for maybe 10 feet. And then he just vanishes. There's no sound. Like he screams, and then his scream is just cut off. Just sudden silence. It echoes once off the walls, and then he's gone.
I turn around to the crowd and I'm like, he is the first to die. Now march on the temple. The rest will follow with him.
Yeah, no one hears the words that you're saying because they're already like shouting and screaming in excitement. Like they're as soon as you flipped them, they were like, oh yeah, let's do this thing. And so it's just like ogre bellowing and pounding their chest, and the soldiers like banging their spears against their shields, and and cheering in excitement. I mean, you just like march out the front door and straight across. Who is in the lead? What's the deal? How does this look?
I think we march ogres in front, siege engines in front, the ogres, then troops behind, and then we just plan our attack outside the gate and issue the ogres commands and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And organize a siege.
All right. So you so you leave, and I mean the next scene, you're all like prepared, right? The war priest has given you like, this is what it's gonna take. He's shown you his maps. The three of you, are you at the front of the line? Are you behind? Are you like up on a platform? Like, what is the moment before the battle, right? We'll cut right to the like, we're about to invade. Obviously, they saw you coming. They knew this was happening. The Temple of the Sun has shut their front doors. And you can see on the upper walls, there are a few guards in their shining gold and silver armor standing at the walls, like watching nervously, many of them holding bows. Where are you, and where do you give the order to begin the attack?
I think we're like behind the troops and like at a table, a makeshift table, like looking over the plans and like pointing at things and telling ogres are going to strike here and there and doing all that stuff in the behind the big army in front of us.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the war priest says to you, our assets may be monstrous, but they are well trained and divinely appointed. They exist for only one purpose, and that is to destroy. There will be no pillaging. There will be no mercy, only the great destruction of the tower. If there's anything you wish to retrieve from the archive, you want to get there before they do. I cannot command them to do anything but destroy.
Very well. Berg and I will break off once we're through the walls, and we will go rescue our friends beneath the archive before the ogres destroy it.
And he nods. He says, "You'll have a limited amount of time. Don't get stuck down there when they start the fire." And he turns to you, Berg, and from his hip, he takes out a long horn of some monstrous origin, like a twisted graying horn, and on the end, the cap is like a platinum piece, and he hands it to you, and he holds it out, and he says, "If you would like to do the honors."
He's just letting me blow the horn right now.
Yeah.
All right. Bird grabs it. See if I can get a horn sound effect going here.
Yeah, I mean, he like you. There's a platform, a command platform where you can like stand from. They wheeled it out here. Some of the ogres like dragged it out, and we see you get elevated up onto it. You can climb up the ladder onto this wooden tower, and you look out at this. It's not even an army. It's like maybe like 100 people total, but it's certainly a lot more than they have. And you see the ogres. They've all been outfitted with enormous like spiked plate armor on their arms. Some of them have axes or clubs. You've got big helmets on. The regiment of the tower is all prepared with spear and shield. And overhead, actually, you can see some kind of bat-like creature kind of like winging its way down from the sky to provide air support.
Nice.
And so you're standing there with your horn in hand, and everybody's waiting for the battle to begin.
Yeah, Bird goes up there for a second, surveys around, looks back at Ramus, kind of almost like you ready? Like to see if he's going to nod.
Mm-hmm. I think we shout at the walls.
Last chance. Anyone who walks away now will not die.
Are you using thaumaturgy to like boost
Yeah,
the sound of your
project
voice?
it.
Okay,
Check
all
it
right.
so it can
So
hear across the walls.
yeah, the shrill tones of Ramus Creel echo out across the space between you and them, there is no response from the walls. Like they figure if you're gonna attack, you're gonna attack. So they're waiting.
I look at Berg and give a nod.
Berg holds up the horn and is
Rad. So the horn echoes out across the plaza of the gods, and I think like all of the other temples can hear this too, right? And they know this is the signaling horn of the tower, and this is where we get all of the kind of cinematic like the shots of the ogres like roaring and rushing forward, sometimes running on 2 feet, sometimes loping on their big spiked knuckles like gorillas. The rush forward of the troops behind them. There's a terrible shriek from above, actually a familiar one, as one of the tower's wyverns dives down and starts grabbing people off of the roof. The ogres crash into the walls, start trying to break down the doors. Arrows start flying back and forth, and the battle is joined. Once again, and this is like the third time in a week, one of the temples of the Arcana is under siege. And I think while this is happening, actually, what are you guys doing? Ramus and Berg, what do you do while this occurs?
I think Ramus is shouting commands at people like, archers, target that wall. Go around, flank the left side. Like I'm issuing commands to people on the battlefield. And like one ogre is like kind of not doing what he's supposed to. So I'm telling him to get the hell over there.
Yeah, one of the ogres, while everyone else runs one way, the ogre runs sideways and picks up like a cart and throws it against a wall and just starts like killing random people in the courtyard.
Yeah,
like running and screaming from this one ogre who got turned around.
Yeah, I think Berg sees that and like runs over to like try to fucking move him that way, like yelling at him.
So yeah, I mean, Berg, you run over, and yeah, this one ogre, he's got a dead horse in one hand, and he's slamming it over and over into the ground. And with his other hand, he's just like sweeping away at the people who are trying to get their horse back, and the horse is just turning into mush. And the ogre has like a long iron like chain hanging from his neck. You could try to yell at him, but he's pretty like battle frenzy right now.
Yeah, I mean, Berg's just shouting at him. Yeah, trying to get his attention.
All right.
To see if it's even worth. If he's just frenzied, then Berg's just gonna be like, all right, fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, make like an intimidate check because you're trying to like assert.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
18. Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, let me see. So it's pretty hard to. Okay, he throws the horse at you. So he hears you yelling. Like, he hears you yelling like, "Hey, hey!" And he turns and he just wings this horse in your direction.
Danger sense.
You see this like bloody like chunk of meat flying at you. Yeah, make a dexterity save.
Yep. Fuck me. It's okay.
Okay. All right. Let's see how difficult it is here.
Come on, don't hit me with a horse.
Okay,
don't
you
hit me with
dodge out of the way. The horse hits the ground and bounces a couple of times. You get splattered with the horse blood, and then he looks at you and he like looks at his empty hand, like he doesn't have his horse to play with anymore. And he like roars, he bellows at you like, how dare you make me throw my horse at you? What do you do?
How many ogres do we have? This is an important question.
There's like six total. 5 of them are like, bashing away at the wall.
Or he's like looking at Ramus like, you seeing this shit? What do you think?
Yeah, Ramus is over the like near the other side of the battle, like shouting orders. He sees that it's happening.
So he's not. Yeah. I guess Berg will try one more time to reel him in. Just like shout at him and like just point, be like, there, like even grabs his own like hammer and is like, over there, like
pointing and shouting. You're trying to instruct him. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'm like, it's less of a I'm yelling at him and more like, yeah, fuck yeah, get him over there.
Okay.
pumping him up.
Let's have you make a persuade check at DC 14 to try to get your point across.
Yeah, okay. Fuck!
Oh,
me!
Okay, so you're like, there, over there, and he reaches out to grab you.
I'm gonna move if I could get it a chance.
Yeah, so he's gonna. What's your armor class?
To 18.
Okay, all right. So he's gonna.
I would imagine he's slow.
Yeah.
At least
So
start moving.
he's gonna make an attack to try and grab you.
It's just a mistake. The moment I went after this ogre, I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to do.
Let's see. Okay. So here's the thing. He lunges out and grabs you, but he's not trying to like hurt you. He picks you up and puts you on his shoulder and then turns around and runs off towards like a different temple. Like he just starts like, and you're like up on top of him.
All right, Berg, I'm going to try to just jump off on the nearest like building or whatever.
Okay. All right. So he's running off towards, let's see. Let's pick a random temple that's nearby. So if you're at the sun, he's either running towards Judgment or the moon. I think he's running towards Judgment, which is a massive kind of cathedral-looking building. And he starts heading in that direction. And you just hop off?
Yeah, I'm going to just hop off.
Okay. All right. So you jump off, and he keeps running. He doesn't notice. He's got his head down and like running towards it.
All right, yeah. These Berg's like, fuck it, whatever, he's
Watch him
gone.
go. Okay. All right. So he keeps running, and he gets within, I don't know, like 50 feet or so of the Temple of Judgment, and you hear a peal of thunder, and there's a bright like flash. And then when your vision clears, the ogre is lying. He's sliding on his face, just like smoking from a big black mark on his back.
Yeah, just like dusts himself off and just like pissed. He just like
Stupid ogre.
turns around and goes back to the battle.
Yep. All right. So you turn back around. The battle is in full swing. It looks like they've bashed the front door open, and the infantry of the tower have all swarmed into the inner courtyard. So I think we don't see, like, Berg isn't present for that and Ramus isn't present for that, but we get a shot of the inside courtyard, and the tower are just like grabbing people and putting them to the sword. Like anybody that's around, they get a sword. We see one of the infantry of the tower take an arrow in the neck and fall down. They're firing into the courtyard from the walls still. But once the ogres get in, they just start breaking things. One of them smashes a column, part of the wall crumbles in, a bunch of people die under that. And this is all the people who are inside praying. And I think the shot, as we pull back, we see that big, beautiful marble, like white marble reflecting pool, and it's just like filling with blood. It's just turning red with blood, and there's like corpses piled up on the side as the battle spreads into the inner courtyard. So yeah, Ramus, they've broken the perimeter. You should be able to get inside now.
All right, I look for Berg, and because I know he's suddenly
Yeah,
way
as
over
I
there.
come back, yeah, Berg's like, Ramus!
We need to go. We don't have much time for the ogres to destroy everything.
Berg just nods and like runs with, yeah.
Run to the archive quickly. We dart in the direction of the archive.
Okay, you don't
Trying to
actually
avoid
know
that.
where the entrance to the archive is, but you run up behind the phalanx, the wall of violence, as it washes forward over the temple. And yeah, Berg, you and Ramus both see these like white robed priests laying dead on the floor. Various like peasants or villagers, just like, it's a slaughterhouse in here. There's the stink of blood is in the air. You see an ogre like rip someone in half and like throw their legs aside. Yeah, all everywhere there, the gold and white marble is just stained with blood. And yeah, you come in after this, and it seems like they're basically just like cleaning up. And now the initial assault has ended, and the destruction has begun. They're going to tear this place down.
Nice. We go to the You Are Here guide map that tells us where the
Yeah, I mean, do you want to like what do you do?
don't
I
have-
guess when you get in here.
Time for this. I cast locate creature and target Sally Hoffa.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So Sully appears on the great divine mini map of your mind. He is below you somewhere, but you can as long as you concentrate, you can basically run in that direction. You can figure out your way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel a pull like in a direction that's towards the interest that starts going down. I feel this way. I can feel myself pulling this way.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So you run off. Berg, you follow him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So you head off. And I think that the two of you sort of run off screen and we fade. And we fade back in on the aforementioned scene of insectoid terror. So Kalimat, it's you and it's Sully Hoffa and it's Idihas, the slightly dismembered, very hungry, very upset, forgotten god, enormous kind of grayish insectoid thing with like a old man sort of emerging from his chest carapace. And all around you is the sort of splatters of his blood and venom. You yourself have been injured, but you see Sully in enormous form trying to distract the thing. Let's get the two of you and Edie has to roll initiative just to figure out in what order these things are going to occur.
Sure. While I'm doing that, how, being 12 foot, 3,200 pounds, am I like, nice, you rolled a 1. Am I unbelievably bigger than this? Am I on foot, toe to toe? Like what?
You're about, you probably weigh a lot more, but like he's longer than you are tall. Good stuff, everybody. Fantastic.
Go and roll with your plus 13.
Nicely done. Okay, let's see. So he's got 4. Okay.
Someone said in chat, I'm going to roll 3 crits today. And I went, you didn't say critical successes.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, so Sully got a 5.
Yep.
All right.
I go last.
So yeah, you're, like I said, you're about as, like, you're a little shorter. You're shorter and squatter than he is. You probably weigh more, but he's longer.
Weigh significantly more or just way more?
I mean, he's not standing on a scale, so
okay,
hard for you to know for sure. Okay, so I think, what was the last thing that happened? Like, is he?
We were grappling each other. I was looking at the rolls. So we grappled each other. I rolled a 4 on the athletics and you rolled a 13. And that's where we ended.
So you tried to grapple him and then he knocked you back. Okay. All right. So you're going to get an attack of opportunity on him if you want. So he like turns away to be like, Kalimat, and go get him. So if you want to, you can do something, Sully, as he flees.
Now, by attack, do you mean I need to make an attack roll on him and that's the only thing I can do? You said something. What
well,
is...
it's an attack of opportunity. So I don't know if you have like something that you can do, like a reaction of some kind, but I just want to let you know he's leaving your threatened area.
Yeah. I don't know if this falls under attack of opportunity. It might not, but I would just like to fall on him.
I mean, this would be like a grapple or a grab or whatever. I don't know if you can do a grab attack as an attack of opportunity.
A grapple, I think, is an attack.
It is. You forego one of your attacks, but let me check.
Okay.
It's always the most
because
complicated.
in Solly's mind, a 3,200 pound turtle's gonna be heavier than most things.
Oh no, it is the attack action.
It's the attack action.
Him. So you can't. Yeah, it doesn't look like you can grapple as an attack of opportunity because attack of opportunity is a reaction, not an action.
It's a reaction.
So you can take a swipe at him, I guess, if you have something. But yeah, you just.
I mean, I have a quarterstaff, but
okay.
I guess that's better than anything. So
it's better than nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I try to hit him with the quarterstaff. 12.
Okay. Your quarterstaff, despite being enormous, clacks off the back of his armor.
Do I get any bonus for being enlarged? Hold on, let me look at the spell real quick. I'm just gonna paste it.
Yeah.
Weapon.
So
they just deal
large,
more damage. That's it.
Yeah, you would deal more damage.
Yeah.
So yeah, click, like hits off of his armor, and then yeah, he rushes after you, Kalimat. So the same as before, he's just gonna throw himself on you and try to bite you.
Damn.
No, actually, you know what? He's gonna use his other ability. So as he's rushing towards you, his little wrinkled old man face, his mouth opens wide, his like toothless mouth, and he lets out a shrill like sound, this kind of dissonant shriek. And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Both of us or just him?
Just Calumet.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you feel it like tearing through your mind, this horrible sound, and for a second you become disoriented, like you blacked out and woke up the next morning and were like, what happened to me? But it fades. You recover your senses, and whatever effect it was, it doesn't happen. And then he comes barreling towards you. He's moved enough to be in range, like you're within like about 10 feet of him. What do you want to do?
I'm sorry.
What do you want to do? He's like all up in your shit now, and it's your turn.
Oh, I'm going to attempt to like run away from him and run towards Salihafa.
Do you want me to play the hurdy-gurdy for the shriek, or?
Yeah, right. He sounds like God's forgotten hurdy-gurdy. Well, so here, like just to keep sort of general track, I'll just use a giant centipede as a token. Let me see. Just to kind of give you an idea of like where you are and how far apart and everything. So I'll put him down here. So there's a variation of him, and then there's your buddy
Yeah, because
there.
I'm large.
Big turtle.
And there's you. So this is kind of where you started, and then he went blah over to you.
Okay. Is there a way to use like acrobatics to like go through his legs, or like jump and roll around him or something like that?
I mean, not really. You can use the disengage action,
Okay.
so he doesn't get to like mess you up as you run by. And as long as you pass through him and don't end your turn, like on him, you're okay.
Yeah, that's what I want to do then. I'll use the disengage to dodge his shit, and then cruise towards Salihafa.
Okay. Yeah. So you just want to like run behind Salihafa.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So you're like,
Yep.
like spins around, all like angry like, and and you like run and like slide between Salihafa's legs. You still have an action if there's anything else you want to do.
Okay, so
you've used your bonus action to disengage.
Right.
Used one of your move actions. Or used your move action. You still have your full like regular action.
okay, then I want to let's see. I can use my Master of Tactics help action as a bonus action, but a bonus action be used as a regular action, right?
Yeah, you could do it a different way if you wanted to use disengage as your main action. But yeah, so like your like cunning action is your bonus action.
Okay. So then I want to use the help action to give Salihafa advantage on his next
roll.
Yeah, it's a help action, gives you advantage on your next hold on one second. I just looked it up because I don't think there's any way I can do anything. Now
the other option, and
advantage on the next ability check.
Yeah, the next option, the other option you have too, because you mentioned it last time, and I wanted to give you that option, is you could activate the dagger, right? You could use your action to envenom your dagger.
Right. And that's a full action to do that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
No, I'm actually going to try and if the guy comes over, like I want Salihafa, this big turtle, to like Like, hold him so I can get the fuck out of here because there's nothing else I can do.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. All right, that's fine. So, Saliafa, you have advantage on your next roll. What are you gonna do? It's your turn.
Can I get to him in 1 and 30 movement?
Yeah. You can run over to him. Yeah, this is all in fairly close quarters now. So, like run over there.
Yeah, I think I run up to him and then I'll basically throw myself on him. Well, you tell me this because shell defense is an action, but throwing myself on him would also be an action.
Yeah, because essentially what you're doing is grappling him.
Yeah,
right?
I'm trying to
If you wanna
basically
stop
sit on him.
from moving. It's still grapple.
It's still a grapple. All right. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll have advantage on that anyways because I'm larger than him, like I did last time. So
Well, you're about the same size, but you have advantage on all your strength checks because of the spell.
yeah.
So he doesn't need my help then.
Not for this plan, no.
Not, but do I get to keep that or no?
It's your next action.
So does it not persist? I guess.
Help in combat is lend your aid on the next ability check it makes, provided it makes it before the start of your next turn.
Oh, okay. So I have it as long as it's started next turn.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that would? Let me see if there's anything else that would make sense.
Well, in a grapple is an attack, so you would need that aid to make this attack roll, right? Because to grapple you have to make an attack.
It's not an athletics check.
No, that's like an opposed check to break free. I just had the combat thing. So if you want to grapple someone, you use the attack action, make a special melee attack, a grapple, so that you would have advantage on because of Kali's help.
Okay, so yeah,
Okay.
I'll grapple then.
The target of the grapple must be no size longer, blah, blah, blah. Using at least one free hand, you try to seize the target, and then they can test with strength or dexterity. If you succeed, then you subject the target to the grappled condition.
Okay. Then I guess we're making strength rolls. Or am I just making a flat D20 plus my strength?
First you try to grab him. Yeah. So first you try to grab him, and then you roll. So it's an attack roll.
Plus my strength?
It is a special melee attack. Yeah, it's just a regular melee attack. So
So that doesn't get proficiency bonus, right?
I
I don't think it does.
don't. I think it's a simple weapon. So yes, like I think it's like unarmed.
Oh, so yes, I do. So it's D20 plus 4 since my proficiency
Yeah,
is 3
sure.
and my strength is
We'll
1.
call it that for now.
Okay. Here's the roll. And I get advantage on the assault roll twice from the help from Kali. 6. Thank God I have it.
Okay, roll again.
14. It's not that much better.
Okay. So it is not enough to get a hold of him. You like grab one of his little like wriggly legs that breaks off, and he like squirms around and pushes you back. You don't get to get a hold of him.
Yeah.
So you still have your bonus action if there's anything else that you want to do with that.
I don't know if I have anything that can be cast as a bonus action. Yeah, I think that's all I can really do. I don't really have anything bonus action wise.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you lunge out for him, and and he's not into it. He's gonna try and bite you. He's gonna try to deal with you as a situation here.
Okay.
So he's gonna make an attack against you. So let's see here. What's your armor class?
17, but if he hits, I'm gonna shield. So it'll be
Okay.
22.
Let's see how it goes.
Well, I guess it doesn't matter. I'm not doing it.
Okay. All right. So he gets 25, and I need you to make a Constitution save.
Okay. 4.
Ooh. Okay. All right.
Do
So
I
you
get-
take
Go ahead. I'll look.
you
up
take
my own.
19 damage,
Okay.
and you get the poisoned condition. So that means you have disadvantage. You'll get to save again at the end of your next turn.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So he's like, all right, if you want to fight, we'll fight. And he sinks his mandibles into you and his like lower body is just like babbling hungrily, like he's lost his mind. And so that's what's kind of going on as you're like trying to grapple with this thing. Kalimat, what are you gonna do?
Let's see here. Well, since I see that he's not successful with grappling, it's my my friend is being torn apart by this god. So I thought he was going to be able to overpower him, so I could possibly get away. But I think I gotta turn heel and do what I can. Hopefully he can keep him distracted, or maybe his size will help him or whatever. So I'm just gonna fucking throw. Let's see here.
I was gonna say run, so I'm glad you're doing that without me telling you.
You were gonna tell me to run?
Yeah. He might calm the fuck down.
Do you say run or not?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, I guess before he bites me, which is maybe why he bites me in the first place, because I'm not watching. I'm like turning around and screaming at you, run.
That's a fucking tough choice, man. But I'm out of here. Bye. Love you. Bye.
So you're gonna turn and run?
Yeah, I'm gonna turn heel and run.
Okay. All right. So if you do nothing but move, you can move 3 times your movement in a round, right?
Yep. Right.
Okay.
Yep. So I can move 90 feet.
90 feet. Okay. All right. Okay. Cool. So,
But that doesn't guarantee anything, because this motherfucker
No, he's
caught
super
up to
fast.
me with haste.
yeah, he is extremely fast. He's a magic man. But you got a head start. We'll see how long it lasts. All right. Kalimat runs off. Salihafa.
Now, I do. You can tell me if you want this to be made retroactive, but do I need to make a con save for concentration since I was attacked successfully?
For enlarge? Yeah. I'm sure you'll make it. It's the difficulty's only 10, but yeah.
Welp.
I'm so sorry I said that. I didn't mean to curse you. Okay, so you shrink back down to normal size.
All right.
And he kind of stumbles forward because he's leaning on you, biting you, and then he falls forward.
Is he still focused on me, or does he see like Collie running away?
You
Can I
could
not
keep
tell?
his attention if you wanted to, or you could try to get out of his way.
I'm trying to think. You tell me if this is within the confines of Major Illusion. I want to cast Major Illusion and just make, how big is this? 20-foot cube. I want to make a 20-foot cube filled by Kalimats and just have them run in completely different directions, all of them at the same time. Like all around me.
Yeah, I mean, it would prompt a roll on his turn. Yeah.
Okay. That's what I'll do then.
All right. So you create an illusion of a whole bunch of Kalimats running in different directions.
Yeah. Does that allow me to get out without being an attack of opportunity as well? Like, can I move?
No.
Okay.
No, you still have to take the disengage action.
Yeah, I'll do that. I cast Major Illusion.
Okay.
With a ton
All
of collies just running around.
Okay. Anything else on your turn?
No, I'm just applying malleable illusions to that. Yeah, I think that's it. I can't really do anything.
Okay. What's your spell DC?
It is a 15.
He is not bamboozled by your illusion.
Christ.
So he maybe for a second his little lower body looks around, and then he gets mad and he like grabs onto you and is like spitting and snarling, and then the mandibles come down to snap on you again.
All right, same thing. 22. If it's higher than 17, I'll cast shield.
No. Okay. So you don't have to cast shield. I think you just like duck and his mandibles bang off the back of your shell. I think they like, put a good dent in it, but you don't get hurt. You're still holding them.
Yep.
Kalimat, you're going to keep running.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the exit.
Okay. All right. All right then, Sully, your turn.
Quick question.
Go.
Yeah.
Is there, since this is like later, I don't know when stuff starts happening up above, but can I follow the sounds of battle perhaps if this is happening at the same time?
You're pretty like you're down below. You're several like
Okay,
stories kind of underground. So it's yeah. I guess where are you trying to go? Are you just trying to get to an exit?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get upstairs.
Okay. Make a perception check. Oh yeah, and JP roll another save.
Oh,
versus
right.
poison, just to see if it clears up.
That's a good roll.
Okay.
7. I don't think it does.
No, it doesn't. You're still poisoned. Okay. Kalimat, you so a couple of things. So Kalimat, you run around a corner and your brain is going a mile a minute. Your chest is pumping with adrenaline, but out of the corner of your eye, you spot like a nick in one of the pillars, a familiar looking mark. And you realize like you found your way back to the path that led you in here. Remember you were describing before you like tracked the way you were going?
Yep.
Yeah. So you figure you've got a pretty good idea of where you're at now in terms of getting out. So
Okay.
you're on track. Sully Hoff, as the poison courses through you, it's not just like physical poison. Like, yes, you feel nauseated and your knees are weak and you're feeling dizzy, but also you're forgetting things. Like, do you have moments of like, who is this? Why am I fighting this guy? Where am I? What's my name? Who are these? It's not affecting your spell casting, but it's like you can feel the library of your mind. Someone is shaking it and all the books are falling off the shelves. And so like you're feeling like disoriented and sort of forgetting things. It is your turn.
Would you say he occupies a 10-foot square?
He does, yeah. He occupies exactly a 10-foot square.
I'm going to do something I've never cast before. I'm going to cast grease underneath him.
Okay.
So he has to make a dex saving throw or fall prone.
All right. So you snap your fingers and slick grease spills out among the bloody puddles that are already there. And his little centipede legs are skittering in the sludge. Let's see. So sorry, you said DC 15?
Yeah, dex saving throw or fall prone.
Fall prone?
15,
Okay.
15. Fuck. I just can't get a good roll on either side.
He manages to like click into the stone and hold his position.
I'm seeing a creature that enters there ends its turn there must also succeed on it. So next, if he doesn't move, he has to basically do it again next turn.
Yeah, when it appears, and then if he at the end of his next turn, he has to try to stay. Okay, all right. Anything else?
Yeah, I don't have any bonus actions, so that's it.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I don't think he's in a state to like because I could.
Do I make another
I
con
could
save
be
for saving?
make your con save. Yep.
7.
Okay.
I can't roll well today.
If you were thinking straight, I would just be like, cool, he just moves out of the grease, but I don't think that he is. Like I think he just is trying to kill you and get rid of you. So he doesn't move, so there's a chance he'll fall prone at the end of this turn. He takes another chomp at you.
I will definitely be using shield.
And you're going to shield? Okay. All right. So yeah, that one would have got you, except magical shield erupts out of thin air and his mandibles crash against it. Okay. Kalimat. So getting lost down here took hours, but finding your way out doesn't seem to be as difficult. It's a series of quick turns, left, right, left. And then you come around a corner and you hear footsteps. You hear the clinking of armor, and you hear footsteps coming from around a corner nearby. There's light washing down around this corner too.
I'm just mad dashing for any sort of daylight, moonlight, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, you book around the corner. Okay, so you book around the corner. Ramus and Berg, you hear all of a sudden like heavy breathing, and then at the bottom, you come to the bottom of the staircase, and you see in front of you a shape moving quickly towards you.
What the hell is that?
And then you see it's Kalimat, and he looks like he's in rough shape.
Ramus!
What the hell is going on? It's just a library down here. Why are you looking like you're dying?
There is a loose god down below, and Salihafa is fighting it. Berg, come! We have to save him!
To make things up, Kali. Did you fall or something?
Look at my face!
Yeah,
Do
there's
I
a
look
god
like I'm
running around
making things
here.
up?
So Kalimat is covered in blood, some his own, some this greenish, like black fluid sticking to him. You can see he has a nasty wound in his shoulder that looks like it's probably going to get infected if someone doesn't take a look at that.
Holy shit. Where the hell? We need to get Sully then. There's a god?
It's going to take too long to explain. Just...
Okay, let's just go. Let's go get
I can't believe I'm doing this. All right, follow me.
So Berg and Ramus, can you both roll initiative for me?
Yeah.
Okay, so Berg,
Solid rolls.
Ramus.
It doesn't matter. There's only one guy, so it's just
Yeah,
just
it's
in
true.
order.
It's true. Not as bad, yeah.
Berg is a 9.
Especially
I
with
never
I
everything
like
going
seeing the
on.
number be small.
All right, so Kalimat, that was the end of your turn. You know that if you lead these guys back, you are currently at full pace, 100 and... You move, 80 feet a turn, right? That was how much you...
90.
No, it was 90. So you're 180 feet. Yeah, 180 feet away. So that's how long it's going to take to get back to where Sully is.
Oh, God. Hold out, bud.
Salihafa, it is your turn.
Did he make a dex save for ending his turn there?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Let me make that. 20... no, he failed. He fell prone.
Does he take any
So
damage for being large?
No, he doesn't take damage for falling. But he's on his ass. He can get up on his turn, but he like goes to bite you. You blast him with the shield. He gets banged up against the wall and then slips and falls backwards. And he's like, yeah, this partly cut in half like centipede god flailing his little arms trying to flip over so he can get back up and bite your face. So yeah, he's prone. It's your turn. What do you want to do?
This fluid, is it water? Would you say it would be water around him, in him?
No, it's grease.
It's grease?
It's like
No, not the spell that I cast, but like what he's
it's
made
blood.
of. It's blood? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably water like
Would you allow
As a part
shape
of it.
water to be cast on anything around me?
I don't know. Let me roll. I don't have.
I'm not even sure if I
invested
want
either
to,
way, so.
but I'm just
Yeah.
asking.
All right. Let's say 1 to 3. No. 4, 5, 6. There's enough water in the puddle of blood. He's been bleeding a lot. All right. Yeah. Sure.
There's a lot of water around him.
There's like a puddle. He's been bleeding out since the fight started. So why not?
Now, I can cause water to form into simple shapes and animate, Jesus. And animate
You can form water into anime
at my direction.
Senpai.
Could I force water down his throat?
Can you choke him with his own blood? So I'll tell you this. You could try, but suffocation rules are weird. He has 2 mouths. And also, you don't know if he even needs to breathe. He's a god.
That is true.
Summoning anime might be a better idea, but yeah, I don't think it's pretty cool. It's a good move, making someone bleed out a bunch and then summoning a tendril of their own blood to suffocate them. But I don't think that will work on him.
Yeah, one of the stipulations of shape water is that you can freeze it as long as there's no creatures in it.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's no water in it, but the water is in his throat, could I freeze it? That's a thing that it does not answer.
No, you can't freeze the water that's part of someone's body. No.
I love it though.
You could theoretically throw someone in a river and then freeze the water around, but you can't freeze around them because it says they can't be in the water.
They can't be
It's
in it,
specifically
yeah.
not to like ice cube someone. I think is part of
Something to think
the
about.
rule.
This thing's pissed me off, so I'm just going to cast Magic Missile at level 3.
Okay, sure.
I got some spell slots to do. If he's prone, can I walk away without getting an attack of opportunity?
I looked that up. He
How's
will
that
get
work?
an attack of opportunity, but he's at disadvantage.
And I still have a reaction this turn, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you got it back at the beginning of your turn.
Yeah, I'm going to walk away 30 feet, see what happens. So give me an attack of
Okay,
opportunity.
so let me look at just for poisoned. Oh, it's just disadvantage. Okay. All right. So yeah, you can move away. You're going to let him make the attack of opportunity?
Yeah. And then I'll reaction if it's higher than 20 or higher than 17.
Sure. Okay, so he has disadvantage, so I can roll this twice. You got either a 20 or an 18. Okay, so you got one more shield. You can block that 18, right?
Yes. Oh, fuck. Does that mean I can't cast another spell?
You can use a cantrip.
It's you can use a cantrip. You can't cast magic missile, but you could like firebolt or something. But yeah, like disengage is an action. So you don't disengage.
I'm not
tries to bite you. He
disengaging.
gets
Yeah.
he gets an 18. If you want to cast shield, you can, but that would mean your next spell has to be a cantrip.
I'd rather do that. So I cast shield. He strikes the shield. I get away 30 feet. I run the direction that Kali ran, or that Kali was. And
Okay,
then,
let me double check on the spell casting because it actually really matters.
in what
Bonus
sense?
action is
Oh.
so some spells can be cast as reaction. They cast a fraction of a second or in response to an event. If they can be cast as reaction, it says exactly when you can do so.
Basically, you can only spend one spell slot a turn, period. Like
Yeah,
if you cast
I
a
think-
spell slot, you can only use that. But you can use a
That's
cantrip
right.
as well if it's a bonus action spell.
Yes. Okay. So that is a first level spell, and yeah, that means so you can still cast a spell, but it has to be a cantrip. You've already used a yeah.
But how would that make sense then to use it as a reaction? Because I used it last round as a reaction, so that's still 2 spells that round for me. 2 spell slots, right?
Let me look at the rule.
Because the only reason I'm asking is because it's a sure
No,
hit.
no, I think
or
yeah, it's important to figure out.
Yeah, a
this
D20
reaction
plus
spell.
5.
So let's see. Spell slots. You can cast limited number of spells, blah, blah, blah. Casting time we know about. It's not a bonus action. You can't cast another spell during the same turn except for a cantrip with a casting time of 1 action. If you cast a bonus action.
Does it say anything about reactions?
No, it's just weird because the header is complicated, right? Because it's like under the bonus action, it says you can't cast another spell during the same turn except for a cantrip with a casting time of 1 action. But that's talking about bonus spells. I think you can cast a reaction. I wish that there was like a clear thing, but this is during the same turn, right? You just cast a spell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
I don't know if it clarifies that. Like if you reaction on your turn, if that counts or not. I don't.
Chat was saying page
Well,
202.
But you are casting it on your turn.
Are you
is
on
the
page
thing.
202,
This is
Adam?
Sullyhaffa's turn. What's that?
Are you on page 202? Chat was citing that page.
I'm looking in the casting time
Oh, the
section.
SRD,
in
okay.
the SRD, yeah. Yeah, you're casting it on your turn. Usually it's during someone else's turn, but this time it's during your turn.
Right, because
And
the
it
attack
specifically
was an
says
attack
you
of
can't cast
opportunity.
another spell during the same turn. So I think you can't. I think this
okay.
is how it goes.
All right,
Yeah,
that makes
we're looking
sense
at
to
the same
me.
rule.
Because because it's an attack of opportunity that I took
So
on
you
myself.
could theoretically cast a bonus spell, a regular cantrip, and a reaction, but the reaction has to be not on your turn. I think that's how that works.
Yeah, that's what we've been doing in the past.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
that makes sense for me. So yeah, I'll just firebolt him when I'm 30
sure.
feet away.
Yeah, go for it.
Actually, I could get 60 feet away. Did I see how fast he was moving at full speed? Do I have that knowledge?
No.
I'll go for the firebolt. Or firebolt, not ball. 20? Does that hit?
Yes. Yeah, it hits.
16? That's pretty good damage.
Yeah. So you deal him 16.
That's more damage than what Magic Missile could have done.
Okay. All right. So yeah, the firebolt flies out of your hand, I guess, or you cast out of your staff, and yeah, hits him, and he squeals in pain.
Grease do
Blast of
anything?
flame. The spell does not describe that it like lights on fire or anything, so no.
Okay.
It does not. It's just slippery, not flammable. All right. So he is going to get up with half of his movement, and then he's going to come running over to you. He's going to get you.
Now do I have another shield, or can I not? Because I already used one this round, right?
You used your reaction already, so you do not have a shield now.
Okay. I'll probably go down here.
You basically get your reaction back at the beginning of your turn.
Right.
Okay. All right. So here we go.
That's a hit.
Wouldn't matter if you had shield anyway.
I
think
do
the
a
shield
poison
keeps.
save,
I think the shield is still up anyway, but it doesn't. It bounces off. So 28. So can you make a con save?
Yeah. I didn't make one at the end of last turn. Does that matter?
Oh, yeah. Make one for the last turn.
I crit that one.
Okay.
So
You're
I'm
fine.
not
And-
poisoned.
Well, and then make another one, right? That was to recover from the last one. Oh no.
So I crit the one that does me no damage, and then
Yeah,
crit fail the one that does do me damage.
Okay.
It's fucking stupid.
He bites you for
Yeah, I go down.
25.
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay. All right. So Sally Huffa goes down. And the and he's not trying to eat you. He was just trying to get you to stop hitting him. So
Right.
he lifts his head up, sniffing the air, and then wheels around and goes to disappear after them. So Berg, it's your turn. What are you gonna do?
Shit.
Do you want to do this after the break?
That's up to JP. I'm cool with whatever. JP, do you want to take a break now?
Yeah, we can.
That could be a good
Okay,
cliffhanger,
yeah,
yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
I'm just
What
saying,
will
it
Bird
seemed like a
do?
good break in the action.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
yeah. So Sully goes down under the poisonous mandibles of the god of forgetting, and then it turns and rushes off, leaving a trail of blood into the darkness. And then we cut back to Berg, who has to decide what to do next.
Cool. All right. We're going to take our 3 to 5 minute break. We'll come back and see what happens after this. Don't go nowhere. Be right back with more Court of Swords. We'll see you guys then.